Man, I'm excited.
All right, so let's just answer the question. Give me I want to hear one name right now. Number 16 rolls around, and all of these players are available. It's impossible because some of them will have had to go, but this is more of about what you would like. Michael Penix is there. Mm-hmm. Troy Fautano is there. Byron Murphy is there. Jared Verse is there. Latu is there. I'll give you those 5.
All right.
Who are you taking?
See.
What do you mean, see?
That's the tough part.
You have to start with giving me a name.
All
That's the rules of the game.
I'm gonna walk you through it first, my thought process at least, okay? I'm looking at this team and I go, who has to lead the charge on this team this year? It has to be the offense. The defense is under mass construction. I get that. There's some pieces there already. But I look at the offense and I go, you guys got to come out ready to go. You can't let the defense hold you down and then you find your footing. No, offense has to go. Last year, Geno took, 10 less sacks than he did the year before. People forget that about Geno. They're like, Geno holds on to the football. He doesn't do this and that. Yeah, he might hold on to the football. Watch the all-22. You'll see that safety rolling down to that robber spot. You'll see a linebacker drop it into space. There's a reason why he held the football. So I'm looking at the offense and I go, you have to get better on offense right now. Defense, I feel like you can find the diamonds in the roughs like the Tariq Woolens, like the Kobe Bryant, even though he won a diamond in the rough. He didn't get the love he deserves. But you can find just dogs on defense later in the rounds, later in the draft, and get those guys going. So I'm going Troy Fautanu off top. When's the last time this team has been at its best? Is when that offensive line is solidified. Yes, the Legion of Boom. You can point at that. I get it. You'll never see Legion of Boom again, folks. It will never happen in Seattle again. You will not get a top 10 defense of all time. The times have changed. The game has changed. It's an offensive game. They take care of the offense. They take care of the quarterbacks. They take care of the receivers. Protect your quarterback. All those guys are worthy. I love Latu. He's probably my favorite out of those guys, but I'm going Troy Fautanu.
So with all that said, Bump, tomorrow night when we're sitting down there at the VMAC and you and me and Wyman and Bob covering all these picks in this draft, do you think it looks and feels differently with Mike McDonald sitting next to John than it did with Pete for 14 years?
Oh, yeah, it has to, right? I mean, you want it to. If we wanted the same thing, then bring Pete Carroll back and let's do it all again. You want it to be different. And this is the maturation of John Schneider. John's a grown man. I love John. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But he's always had his homie, to the right of him. And they're going back and forth, and they got this relationship. So now he leaves home like I did Culver City, 20 years ago, and I never returned. I'm still here in Washington. Right now it's time to go out and be your own person. I think John has always been that, but always with the help and influence of Pete Carroll. So it has to be different. I think Mike McDonald should defer to John Schneider. I think John should take the lead on this, and that's what's going to happen, and that's what should happen. We want change here. Everyone, Jody wanted change. John wanted change. That's why Pete is gone. It better feel different.
Okay, so we spend 90% of our time talking about just the 10%, that first round, right? We spend so much time talking about 16 and trading down and all these prospects. But when it's said and done on Saturday, when Mora closes it out with C-Raj, right, and right after Stacy and Salk Saturday morning, and you've got the whole group in totality, what do you want this draft class to look like?
I want it to look like the needs were met. So I'm looking at the offensive line. I love how they're building this roster. 1-year deal. Go ahead and prove it, man. We believe in you, but you got to prove it. But I need that offensive line solidified. I need a rookie that is coming in to compete for a starting spot, not just a guy that you're trying to develop. I think that was Oluwatimi last year, right? You bring him in, we'll see what happens, see how he develops. Defensively, I think you need bodies on that defensive line. There's going to be a rotation. I would love to have an Aaron Donald, a Chris Jones, another Leonard Williams type of guy.
But Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy, yes.
Jared Verse.
Exactly.
I mean, you can get one of those if you want them. You already want to ignore that.
You could get one of those if you wanted to.
Man, I don't care about defense.
You're gonna get one. And that's the thing on defense, Salk. I mean, goodness, defense, and no disrespect to defenders out there. I think defense is necessary, okay?
No,
you need it.
No,
but on defense, those are the positions where you meet a bunch of guys that said, I didn't start playing football till 10th grade. And I got out there and I started balling out. Because you're a raw, fierce athlete. On defense, it's all about reacting. On offense, you got to be a bit more technical.
You know what you are? You are rough, rugged car wreck. that's what you are.
That's what they call Jared Verse.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's what they call Jared Verse,
Exactly.
a rough, rugged car wreck.
So offensively, just make sure that offensive line is all right. On defense, man, depth. Get yourself another linebacker. Get you a defensive lineman. If you like a safety that's out there, I know you brought in a couple safety. If you like a safety that's out there, go ahead and get yourself another safety. I'm all about shopping at Costco on defense and then shopping at Nordstrom's on offense. You feel me? Like, get yourself what you need, the expensive piece on offense. On defense, go to Costco and buy in bulk.
Interesting.